I'm Vanita. I'm the founder of Mud and Mind.
Correct.
It just happened with a casual meeting with my co-founder Karthik there. He will introduce himself in a while.
Sure.
And so we set up this platform for all things environmental,
Correct.
sustainable models and organic farming, eco-living, everything that comes under global warming and climate change. You can go on
Correct.
expanding. It's as big as the universe.
Of
So
course.
we are not tackling it in the way it should be tackled. People are doing in small parcels,
Mhm.
but does it add up to a larger work? Which means no, because
Absolutely.
unless it is completely the dots are connected, it cannot become a whole. That is what we are attempting here. I won't
Correct.
even say trying; it's just an attempt. So
Correct.
I give it to Karthik. He will introduce himself, and then you introduce, and you can begin the session. Thank you.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Hi Karan, hope you're
Hi.
doing
Hi.
well.
Hi. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. So thanks. And I'm an industrial designer and architect. So I deal with bamboo products and bamboo buildings. So mostly the sustainable architecture, those kind of field and all.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. And coming to Mud and Mind started with a small conversation with Manita in Instagram, and we just thought that we'll start a YouTube channel where we can put all the sustainable practices and people in one place, and we can have lot of discussions with them, so that we'll get a lot of information, and we can share that to the more people. So
Of course.
that's the
100%.
idea. Yeah, and you can start with your introduction.
Okay.
So what you do, and also about the hydroponics. That's what
Correct.
we are talking today. So
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Sure.
Where
Sure.
are you joining us from?
So I'm actually from Mumbai.
Oh,
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
don't tell me you're right behind my house.
Where are you located in Bombay?
I'm located in Powai.
Oh, right. Okay. So I'm in Vadala.
Oh, okay.
Not too far.
Mid, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So can I start?
Yeah,
yes.
please, welcome. Welcome.
So hello everyone. I'm Karan Dabrai. I'm a mechanical engineer from the University of Illinois, which is south of Chicago.
Hmm.
It's been almost 7 years since I graduated now. And ever since I came back to Mumbai, I got several opportunities in America to work, and I got a few job offers there as well. But always knew that this is home. I need to come back here and work on something. So I came back, was introduced to the concept of hydroponics, very very new at that point in time, which is 7 years ago.
Okay.
And I did a lot of R&D. Took almost a year and a half to just try and grow something, essentially. And obviously, very very unexplored space, a lot of potential. I'll discuss the benefits shortly. And now over the last couple of years, we can say that the awareness is really picking up, wherein now people do not need to be educated as much about hydroponics. But that being said, it is still not being practiced enough. So obviously the awareness is there, but the country needs to take certain steps to move towards sustainable farming, for again several of the reasons which I will discuss shortly. So yeah, that's a little bit more about myself. And so it's been 7 years since I'm doing this, and almost around 5.5 to 6 years since it's been a business. So I'll just start off with a few of the problems we decided to address when we started taking up the venture. The problems we try to address are, it takes approximately 60 hours from the time the produce is harvested in the farm till the time it reaches your table. So the farms located in our country obviously are not located in urban areas. So it is harvested, from the time the farmer harvested, it comes from one vendor to the second, to the third, and there's a huge chain of vendors in the middle before we get it. And even when we get it, we probably stock it in our fridge. We probably buy a 3 days or 5 days worth of supplies, keep it in the refrigerator, and then use it over a period of time. So approximately it takes 60 hours. So what happens in this process is, number one, it loses its freshness. the farmers or the vendors need to spray a lot of preservatives or chemicals to keep the produce looking decently fresh, because at the end of the day, if it only looks good, will a customer purchase it? And very important, what happens is it loses its nutritional value. So fresh food has higher nutritional value. As soon as you harvest the crop, it starts losing its nutritional value. Also, what happens is its water content also decreases. So the idea is the most nutritious food is the freshest, which you're literally consuming very shortly after harvesting it, which is what hydroponics enables us to do, which I will discuss shortly. What also happens is it tastes stale. So uh, it does no good to us by purchasing produce which is harvested several hours ago or several days back. Another massive problem which we try to address are there are tons and tons of pesticides sprayed on our produce uh, every single year. We obviously, by looking at a crop, you are not able to understand what is sprayed on the produce. A lot of the consumers also think by just washing it in water, the residues will come out, but that's not true. On the pesticide bottles, it's quite clearly written that it is poisonous and toxic, and a lot of numerous health issues arise, if not in the immediate future, but over a period of time, several health issues arise due to the type of food we are consuming, like respiratory issues, cancer. The list just goes on. So that is again a massive problem, which we don't see the effect today, but maybe after a few years, you do notice these kind of health issues. Another issue you're trying to address is water scarcity. So water is again a very, very valuable resource. With the population size growing, the amount of water which we have needs to be very smartly utilized. Obviously, the water resource is not infinite. And moreover, we also read stories. How often do we read stories of farmers committing suicide, or uh, the highest percentage of suicide in the country is because of farmers committing suicide for several agricultural issues. Maybe they didn't have enough water, or a monsoon failure, inconsistent crops, or different policies. So that is again a massive problem. Uh, so which needs to be addressed. Again, another issue is poor yield and inconsistent crop. So India being a massive, the economy is massively dependent on agriculture. A huge chunk of our GDP comes from agriculture and the supporting services. A huge part of Indian population also is in the agriculture field or in the supporting services. So India is literally the heart of India is agriculture, which means we should technically be the pioneers of agriculture because it's such a big part of our economy. That being said, our yield per acre for several crops is below the world average, which should not be the case. We are also abusing so inconsistent crop is again a massive thing, wherein the consistency is not round the years, not year in, year out. Why is that so? Because obviously we are abusing our soil by putting in chemical fertilizers, and which what happens is it pollutes the water table. Also, we kill a lot of living organisms in the soil. Now, another massive problem which is coming up is climate change. So we've been a prime witness to this. Over the last couple of months itself, we've seen a massive increase in the cost of several of the uh, items, like lime has increased the cost, wheat, the cost has drastically increased. So climate change also plays a huge role in this, wherein a lot of the crops cannot survive once the climate becomes very, very hot. Obviously, the yield and the consistency of the produce really goes down. So what we decided to do is the few solutions which we decided to offer is, so we at GrowPro, what we do is essentially we fabricate the entire hydroponic equipment. We at our end, we will go and set it up or install it at our client's place. And we will also offer services to maintain the equipment on a monthly basis. So who are our type of clients? It could be someone simply who has a little bit of balcony space or a windowsill, who wants to grow certain vegetables, certain herbs, certain leafy vegetables. If you don't have a windowsill space also, that's also fine. Literally, we can grow in a kitchen, in a living room, in a storeroom. Absolutely any space you give us, we can grow. We are not constrained to growing with a space which requires sunlight also, because we have technology which you can grow using LED lights. So we can practically grow anywhere. Our clients are also people who, like I said initially, who have a space for, just a small kitchen garden, a herb garden. Someone who has a terrace space also, who wants to grow in decent quantity and eliminate purchasing vegetables from the market, because that's the entire goal, that you have control over your food. You know exactly what you're putting in your food. What if you're putting any pesticides or whatever it is you're putting in your food, you know exactly what's going on. Obviously, you will not put things which are harmful to you. So we do not use pesticides. And the third type of client who we have is someone who wants to grow on a commercial level. For example, they have maybe a large terrace space, or maybe they have open field where they want to grow and supply vegetables to the community around. That is the third type of client who we have. We also actually have our own small scale rooftop farm here in Bombay itself, wherein we grow and we supply to modern trade stores. And we also do home delivery as well. So that's a little bit about what we are doing. So why should people adopt the hydroponic technology? Why should people grow their vegetables in our growers? For the following reasons. So we grow completely without soil. So hydroponics is a technology which we are growing without soil. Now what happens is 80% of the pests reside in the soil. Now since we don't have soil, we eliminate an 80% chance of getting pest attacks. Hence, we do not need to spray any pesticides. That is a huge advantage and a plus point of growing using the technology which we use, is we're completely pesticide free. So we are vulnerable, yes, to 20% airborne pests. We do not say that we are not attacked by pests, but because we are growing in a protected environment, maybe in a greenhouse or inside a house or in a clean environment, the chance of pest attack is automatically reduced, which is the balance 20% airborne pests. What we also do is we use neem oil, which is a natural repellent to any airborne pests, to eliminate that further. Now, also the produce which we grow is highly nutritious for the following reasons. So we provide the plant, what the technology enables us to do is to provide exactly the nutrition the plant requires in the exact proportion at every different stage of the plant cycle or every different point of its life. So by feeding the plant exactly what it needs, it automatically, the output is more nutritious. So in soil, the plant obviously requires several elements. So in soil, those elements may not be available in the exact proportion what it requires. So hence you may get a deficient crop or a crop which is not as nutritious. So because here we are providing the plant exactly what it needs, the output is automatically more nutritious. Now also what happens is the yield is a lot superior. By that, what I mean by that is the plant grows a lot faster using this technology. Now, why does that happen? Is because we feed the plant exactly the nutrition it requires. So the plant roots do not need to spend that kind of energy in search of the food or in search of the elements what it needs, which is what would happen in soil. It doesn't get all the elements it needs on a platter. The roots need to spend a lot of energy trying to find what it needs. So in hydroponics, we give the plant what it needs in the exact proportion in its root zone. So it doesn't need to spend that energy. Instead, it uses that extra energy to grow vertically faster, to become the leaves grow bigger faster, or rather the fruit grows bigger faster. So the crop cycle is a lot quicker. Now also it's farm to table in the matter of minutes. If you are able to grow in an urban space, whether you're a commercial farm or whether you're growing it at home. If you're growing it at home, you're obviously growing it and you're only going to cut it, say, a few minutes before you plan to cook it. So automatically your nutritional value is a lot superior. It's a lot fresher, and you're growing it at the point of consumption. So there's nothing like it. And a huge positive point of that is your carbon footprint. So by growing it at point of consumption, automatically you're reducing your carbon footprint considerably, which again is a huge plus point considering sustainability going forward. So also our hydroponic technology, now hitting back at the advantages, what we discussed initially, the technology doesn't require the kind of manpower which soil cultivation requires. So you can manage a lot larger space in with just a number of people, just a handful of people. Not even sometimes. If you're doing it at a household setup, you probably don't even require a Mali to come in on a day-to-day basis. The equipment is completely automated. By that, what I mean is it waters the plants on an automated manner, and it doesn't require human intervention. Now, a huge point towards sustainability is we are recycling water 100% compared to conventional farming. So what this does is it saves 90% water compared to conventional farming. So what happens in conventional farming is we essentially spray liters and liters of water, and 90% of it either evaporates or drains into the water table. So here we don't let that happen. We are recycling water in a closed media and using water as efficiently as possible. Also, another huge plus point is we can grow vertically. So essentially your yield per acre is, apart from the plant growing faster, you can also fit in and grow a lot more plants per acre compared to growing it on soil. So that is again a massive plus point because you can actually grow vertically, and by growing vertically, sky is the limit in terms of how high you want to take it. So I'll just hit on what is hydroponics to get to the crux of the situation. What is hydroponics? So hydroponics is essentially the cultivation of plants without soil, and we are using nutrient, we are adding nutrient in the water. So essentially we are using an inert substrate for the plant roots to hold on to, which is how we're replacing the soil. Inert substrate means something which has no nutritional value, which could be something like coco peat, could be hydrotones, could be even pebbles, anything for the plant roots to hold on to, and we add nutrition in the water. So essentially, that's how we're replacing the soil, because the soil provides the plant with nutritious nourishment and also structural support. So, which is how we are replacing the soil. And what we can grow using this technology, practically anything and everything, because the idea of replacing the soil is straightforward. Whether you're, like I discussed the two ways just a couple minutes back, that the soil is replaced in a certain way and you can practically grow anything and everything using this technology. In fact, what we can also do is we can also grow things out of season by controlling the environment, controlling the light intensity, controlling several other parameters like your humidity, your temperature, your pH, your TDS, your water temperature. We are able to grow things which are out of season as well. So we can practically grow anything and everything using this technology. That being said, obviously, there are a few things which are more popular, which are grown using this technology. So I think that's about it about hydroponics and few of the commercials. I think the advantages, sorry. And can people do this on their household basis? Because this is one of the questions which was addressed to me. Yes, very much. You do not require any prior experience to growing hydroponically. You do not require any experience in even soil cultivation. This can be grown easily in anyone's house or anyone's terrace. We also, like I said initially, we also offer services to assist our clients to grow them in their own houses. So it requires no initial experience. I think that's more or less it in terms of what I needed to present. I think I can leave the floor open for questions.
Okay. First, you must be wondering why only two of us here. This was not supposed to be a webinar or something.
Sure.
We record it on Zoom for technicalities so that, we can edit and put it on YouTube.
Yes,
That is
I
the only reason. The expert is the person. It's almost more like a TED talk that we want the world to listen to.
understand.
And coming from University of Illinois, is it Urbana-Champaign?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What did you do there? Which course?
I'm a mechanical engineer.
Oh my God. Then you should have just gone straight down to Dallas and joined one of those air bases, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, it takes passion and purpose to come back to what you want to do. That does, I can see that you're closely connected to doing hydroponics, which is very good. And okay, coming to hydroponics, he has got one question of maintenance, will come last to maintenance.
Mhm,
Now, there are a lot of questions about hydroponics, of the ethical aspect of it.
mhm. Correct.
Okay, because when we say soil, it is the mother.
Of course.
Like growing a baby without the womb, or that is not born natural. It's
Of
like
course.
creating a baby in a petri dish.
Exactly.
The same as our normal way of being born,
Correct.
and a lot of arguments for and against which is going
Of
on.
course. Of
And
course.
I go to Food Hall and I see they have a hydroponic system right in the
Mhm.
shop. And yeah, it feels nice. Like you can just go chop it and, like not even
Absolutely.
farm to table. It is like wall to table. Like, you can just maybe have it here and then bring it down. It's as
Absolutely.
simple as that, which is very good. Okay. And talking about nutrients, yeah, it is like having vitamins. We take vitamins. It
Correct.
is not the same as taking plants or fruits, right? That's the same thing. That's what we are doing to this hydroponics nutrient cultivation.
Correct.
And more recently, I came to know that earlier I thought they only cultivate salad greens and
Mhm.
all these things. But now I come to understand they cultivate very how do you say, complex crops such as strawberries are also being cultivated. And out of season cropping is good in a way, but it's not good also. You see, mangoes come in summer and the fruit has got a tendency to cause heat in the body. And I constantly question this with nature, why God creates something. And
Correct.
then all the cooling fruits come in the winter and we take it in winter when it's already cool.
Correct.
So, like, I really don't know how nature is able to balance. So,
Correct.
are we playing with nature, against nature, or
Sure.
in sync with
Sure.
nature? Answer
Sure.
this first.
Sure. So it's obviously a very debatable question, like you also said. What I'll do is I can give you my point of view on this entire subject. Obviously, every people are entitled to their own point of view and their own way of thinking. So in terms of, are we playing with nature, like you said, obviously Mother Earth, yes, we obviously know that is, there's obviously no question that it started off growing in soil. But with, as time is progressing, the planet is facing several issues. Like number one, you see now the soil fertility is not very, it's not fertile.
Mm,
At the end, water is a very scarce resource. Land is not available in abundance, with population size increasing. The requirement of food is increasing. The number of people are increasing. So we need to learn and we need to come up with new, more efficient ways of growing to feed more
mm,
people, to make the most use of our resources. We need to come up with, use technology and try and satisfy, or rather cater to, the increase in the demand of food. So if we do not evolve now, then is even the food going to be enough for the entire growing population? Do we have enough fertile land for the growing population? Do we have enough water for the growing population? So that is a very important thing to consider.
See, when
So
you're talking about this, do we have food for the entire population? We are now talking about sustainability, sustainability of
absolutely,
resources, sustainability of land availability,
yes,
sustainability of water.
yes,
Okay, so again, when we come back to that sustainable aspect of it, it is now the elite area where hydroponics is.
Correct.
Okay, so how cheaper can it go? I mean, like I have seen like in the past few years, like a small system like this would cost 15,000. Now it's come to a bare minimum of, you can starter kit is about 5,000.
Correct. So see, if you go online, if you go on Amazon, you can get kits for however cheap you want. At the end of the day, with awareness increasing, there are more players coming into the market. People try to cut each other on the cost in front of that.
Right.
Now, I'll tell you where we come in and what we do. Essentially, if you purchase a kit on Amazon, you obviously hydroponics is a simple technology. It's not
Yeah.
rocket
You
science.
can take one long UPVC and cut
You can
those.
do that. Let me just say what I have in mind. So if you purchase something on Amazon, for example, like I said, it's not a complicated technology. Yes, you can grow, but it's a complete DIY, which is do it yourself concept at home. Now, the Indian mentality is, people like, through my experience, through the clients who I've spoken to over the years, people are not very inclined to a DIY system. They prefer, you come to my house, you set it up for me, you maintain it for me, and you get me the fresh harvest grown in my house. That's when I'm going to be satisfied. So I'll speak for myself. What we do is essentially it's a one-stop stop solution. When we go and we do everything for the client, they don't need to do anything as such. So, which is why obviously, because we are providing a product and a service, and the quality is a lot more superior and more premium, yes, we do demand a premium price. But to answer your question, obviously the equipment is not expensive as such. It can the price, definitely sometimes the prices online are highly inflated, but yeah, like more and more competition comes in, automatically the prices will reduce. I think you're on mute. I think you're on mute.
I'm not exactly worried about the prices here. You see, if I want something, I'm going to go for it. What I'm asking is the sustainability aspect is when we again come back to the, lower middle class or the rural poor who can
Correct.
afford something like this, because it runs on electricity, isn't it? For it.
Correct.
So, what are the cost factors and maintenance that Karthik would like to know more about?
So when you talk about cost factors, see, if you're growing at home, you're purely growing it for it's an investment for good health. It's an investment for taking control of your food. And it's an investment for essentially growing things which you feel are expensive in the market and which you are not getting good quality in the market. I'll give you an example. If you go to the market during the summer months, for example, and you'll realize that the quality of the lot of the produce is not good. Like your lettuces are highly wilted. Several of your salad leaves are, they are not good. If you go in the monsoon, you'll find a lot of insects on your plants, on your leaves. People fall sick by eating all this. Even in the immediate future, I'm not talking about the long period of time. So at the end of the day, when you're purchasing something like this for your house, it's an investment for good health. So yes, it turns out to be cheaper if you're buying hydroponic produce in the market, yes. But if you're comparing the hydroponic produce to what is sold in your sabzi mandi, there is no comparison in the cost, because sabzi mandi is far cheaper, but we are not selling the same product here. The product is different, quality is different. So we are selling something very different when you're selling hydroponic produce.
So, okay, now when we buy a kit, what is the lifespan of the kit lifespan?
So you can even use it for 10, 15 years. There is no life as such. This is all hardware material, like there are pipes, which are plastic pipes. You have maybe some steel stands. There are very few electronic things for your household unit which can get spoiled, which may be like a motor, a timer, which also have decent lives and are very inexpensive to even. replace. So the kits is just based on how well you maintain it. If you clean it well, if you clean it regularly, it's going to have a long life.
So every time we remove that produce, we clean it for the reproduction. That is how it is.
Exactly. What we do is we recommend our clients that after every cycle, just to clean their equipment once. Even if they don't clean, it's fine. But typically, we recommend to clean it for several reasons, several technical reasons as well, and also maintenance of the plant. And yeah,
So can it be placed in the terrace direct under direct sunlight?
absolutely,
Yeah?
absolutely, yes, yes,
Okay, this was one question I had because I've often seen hydroponics in shops, inside the shops, wherever it is being kept.
absolutely.
And of course, larger farms are growing all over the country, and we would like to explore this and know more about. And so you sell it, or you also come and install it only in
Every
Mumbai or
So
all
we
over
have services in Delhi and Goa as well, Mumbai, Delhi, Goa. And
Mumbai?
obviously neighboring places of Mumbai, like if you say Pune,
Hmm.
yes, you probably would go and install and service. You say Khandala or Alibag, any neighboring places we can do.
Yeah, but do you have anything to show like this small piece? No, you don't have.
At this point here, no, I do not have here, like with me at this point in time here. No.
Okay, and what are the crops apart from just the salad greens? Nobody's going to put up a system, and every day I'm not going to be a
Of
goat
course, no,
salad.
so you can grow a lot of different things. See, you can grow a basic leafy vegetables also, like your spinach, your methi, your coriander,
Hmm.
your amaranthus, which is your lal mat. Now, if you're looking at
Yeah.
things like uh, vegetables, also you can grow your tomato, your bhindi, your capsicum, your cucumber, your mirchi, everything we can grow. All your karela, your dudi, all these things can be grown. You can
Okay,
also, yeah.
and if we are going out of station,
Mhm.
we leave it on or we switch it off, or
So the equipment, typically the way it is designed, it is good to run without being, or rather without requiring any maintenance for at least a week to 10 days.
Hmm.
That being said, even if they go out longer and if there is someone at home to just, so we provide you with a reservoir or a tank or a bucket, depending on what size of equipment you choose, you go for. Uh, all you need to do is you need to add in water in that once in a week to once in 10 days, and the nutrition. That's about it. So if you're gone for a week, if you're gone for 5 days, absolutely no problem. If you're gone for 15 days, yes, you may require someone to come and top up the water in the reservoir once. Uh, or if you're gone for even a longer time, and if there is no one at home to come and water the plants, you can simply just consume what is there before you leave, and once you come back, you can restart it.
okay, okay. So but we have to completely drain the water.
No, so
If you're going for longer periods like 2 months or 3 months, like that.
yeah, I know if you're going for a long holiday or if you're out of your house for a long period of time, yes, ideal best thing is to remove all the plants, consume whatever is growing, clean the equipment and keep it on the side. So when you come back, you can restart fresh.
Yeah, because the way we started, you started explaining about it, it's like having a pup. I mean, it needs complete care, attention, affection. So if I can really switch it off, leave it unattended, then it's a good pup to have.
Absolutely. So, which is what I even discussed, that the human intervention, the manpower required in this technology is very, very less. It's a literally a fraction of what is required in your large soil-based farms.
So where did you get trained on this? Although the interest should have started somewhere, but where did you get trained?
So actually, believe it or not, I've not studied the subject at all.
Yeah.
I have only practical knowledge. I have only done R&D on it, and obviously the internet, whatever that has to offer. I have done no particular course in agriculture, no background in agriculture, absolutely nothing of that sort. Uh, so yeah, I would say there's no training as such.
Like me, I don't believe in going somewhere to learn something. If you like something, it comes to you, just like how we are getting people like you to come to us. What you
Of
seek is seeking you. That is the order of the universe, as I understand. So it was very enlightening to talk to you. And anything more that you would tell? Who can operate this? Kids can do it. Kids can have a
Anyone,
nursery of their own.
anyone can, literally anyone and everyone can do it. It's a very, very simple technology. And if the person decides to bring us on board, we make it even simpler and easier by providing them all the support they require, right from the correct type of equipment for their space, right from what needs to be done, how we also go to the extent of germinating the plants for our clients,
Uh-huh.
that they don't need to go to the hassle, because germination is a manual process. You probably need to water the plants
Yes.
manually on a daily basis. So what we do for our clients is we germinate them, we germinate the plants at our end, and we just go and fix it in the client's place. So it's just plug and play then, essentially.
And
So,
Karan, I have a question regarding the water consumption. So, how much water will this consume? How many days will that tank will serve? You told it will be taking one week. We can have a reservoir tank. So,
Correct.
how much water it will consume, and also can we recycle those water again to reuse for the same?
So typically, the way it is designed is maybe when your plants are small, water consumption obviously depends on the size of the plant, depends on the type of the plant, depends also on your current climatic conditions. So, say once your plant is a sapling and you just planted in your equipment, the plants are small, the water requirement is less. So the water will probably run for even 15 days without getting over, say at least 12 to 15 days without getting over. That being said, for technical purposes, we request the client to change the plant on the 10th, change the water on the 10th day. After that, after every week or so, your water will automatically get over, because the plants are becoming big and they will consume everything which is there. So there is nothing going to waste on that front. Everything is being consumed.
okay. Now the question comes to what kind of water do we use? Salt water, soft water, or distilled water?
So,
Is there
so,
anything?
so if you're doing it, see, in theory, the ideal thing is RO water is the best water in theory. What does RO water mean? Essentially, RO water, which has a,
pH.
a very low TDS, which is total dissolved salts. But if you're looking for a large commercial farm, which is maybe half an acre or 10,000 square feet or 1 acre, yes, we will, depending on the type of water available at the site, we will probably recommend you to install an RO plant. If you're doing it on a household scale, your BMC water is very, very good for that. The TDS of BMC water, which is your normal regular municipality water, is very good and is good enough to grow your plants. So the TDS of it is very, very low. It's under 100. So for a household scale, you do not need to invest in an RO plant.
Okay. Changing your field from mechanical engineering to agriculture or organic farming
Mm-hmm.
certainly helps. I don't believe any knowledge goes to waste.
Of course.
So, how are you binding both or connecting both to get the best out of the both worlds?
See, I'm a pro by profession. I mean, I'm studied mechanical engineering. Like you rightly said, education never goes to waste. I have always liked mechanical engineering, hence I studied it. Uh, that being said, where do I use that the knowledge which I learned there is, it's obviously used on a day-to-day basis. And also at this point in time, we are also designing different equipments, certain calculations involved, which doesn't require me to have studied mechanical engineering, obviously not. But I feel like that degree does help me. Always it helps me. It's not something which goes to waste.
Okay. And if people have to contact you, what is the best way to contact?
So they can WhatsApp us
Mhm.
they can message us on
We are
Instagram.
giving your details, and
Sorry.
we'll be giving your details there.
Sure. You can also put in our website in the information. So in case whoever is viewing wants a little more information, or maybe even wants to get in touch with us, our website is not a bad place to go and get some information and see about our products, learn about hydroponics, and
No, we'll be giving your name, your email, and your WhatsApp number.
And even you can put in the website also, which makes it easier for them also.
The
Huh.
website
They
will
can
be
see
more.
the work that we have done.
Right. Okay. We'll do that. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining, Karan.
Thanks a lot.